Hello, my name is Stuart Brown, and I'm making a game. Welcome to the first episode of Krush Dev Diary. As you can probably infer, my game is called Krush, and this is the current state of play in the background. The basics are in place, you can move around, you can collect things, there's collision detection, but there's a long way to go. I started this game sometime last year. I had a flurry of a few weeks where I sort of did everything you see here, and it's kind of been lying dormant ever since. But I want to finish it. And so I've resolved to take a break from my normal video making duties and spend a day a week on this game until it's finished or abandoned. One of the two. Each week I'll be focusing on a specific thing, and I'll go into detail about what I plan on doing today. And then next week I'll talk about the progress I made and, any sort of challenges or other stuff that I may have done for the game. But first, some background. This is actually a remake of a game that I made a long time in the past called Krush. I dropped the A for a number of reasons. It sounds more mature this way, and the logo looks better with flat-sided letters, so, that was another deciding factor. It was written for the Commodore Amiga in 1996. It was written in Amos Basic. It had a large number of bugs, but it did have a certain charm. Similar format to what you see here. You were a little car, you drove around, you collect things, and that's pretty much it. The idea behind the actual game is that the speed of things is supposed to get faster. There's supposed to be increased threat as time goes on. So the more you score, the harder things will get. Now at the minute, the damage ramp isn't really properly implemented. You can see the game changes phase when the background color changes slightly. That triggers a rule change. Now at the minute, the only thing that happens is an extra collectible is placed on the arena. But in the finished game, I do plan on doing quite a wide variety of things to make the game get more fiendish. It's going to be a case of high risk, high reward. There are going to be more things to collect, but this does lead to sensory overload. I mean, look at the number of arrows there. Obviously, I want this to be a relatively slow ramp, but it's about tuning it, I think. The game will start slow, and then it will pick up pace, hopefully in tune with the player. So the goal of the game is to score a suitably impressive score. I mean, it's all about high score tables, this game. But at the minute, there is no record of any high scores. There's nothing like that, and that is what I'm planning on fixing today. Today's Krush Dev Day is all about bookkeeping. This is basically making a record of the scores. There's a variety of things I want to keep track of. I'll probably start out by recording just a list of games played, the score, the time, and that way I can then, show a game history, a recent sort of game history of, how you've been doing. But also beyond that, there are cumulative stats that I'd like to track, and then of course there's the records. Not only high score records, but time survived, maybe other stuff like number of collectibles gotten. And, stuff like intensity, highest multi-crush. Because you'll notice there's little markers that come up when you get like 2 or 3 in succession. There's a double crush, triple crush, quad crush. So yeah, I'll keep a track of precisely what feats are actually done in-game. Another major mechanic is the chain mechanic. You'll see in the top right, just underneath the score, there is a little indicator that tells you your current chain. And the little timer that ticks down, and if that ever ticks down, you'll lose your chain. So Krush is all about finding a rhythm and, making sure you don't mess up or miss. And it's quite easy when there's a large number of things on the field, so I can quite easily get a large chain. I think I've balanced it for a single thingamabob. So I may yet retune the chain meter. But basically I want the chain to only be maintained with a regular collection of... I need to think of a name for the collectible things. In the original Krusher, there were actually smaller cars. You had a big bulldozer that chased you, a medium-sized car, and then you yourself had to crush smaller cars. In this, though, they're just flashing hexagons. So I don't know. I think there's some development to be done on the art style. I'm not happy with the colours. I'm not happy with some of the sprites. I think I might yet change the car design. The bulldozer was always meant to be temporary art. So yeah, I think at some point in the future I probably will spend a day on the aesthetic and maybe redo some of the sprites, maybe tune some stuff. But like I said, the thing that I'm planning on doing today is bookkeeping. It's not glamorous, it's not particularly fun, but it is essential to the essence of what Krush is, which is really, you know, all about sort of playing again and again, trying to beat your own records and stuff like that. And hopefully, with a solid bookkeeping system, we can then build on that to sort of give some really interesting stats. You know, like if you come close to beating a record, it will tell you, oh, you were only 2 off beating this record or something like that. So hopefully there's something interesting that we can say about every single game played. You might have only lasted a minute, but it was the most intense minute you've ever done. Something like that, I don't know. Anyway, the point of these videos is to just give you a regular insight into the state of the game, and also for me to clarify my goals. Left to my own devices, you know, I'd probably tinker with the gameplay, the actual external elements, rather than tackling something rather, quite frankly, dull, like bookkeeping. But, you know, with a structure like this, with a dev diary to externalize some stuff, I will at least, hopefully, be able to find some more discipline. And you never know. You never know, I might yet finish this game. So anyway, thank you for joining me, and I shall produce another video next week showing you the updated state of play. And I'll reel off a list of the things that I did, a changelog, and then I'll talk about the goals for the next dev day, and then, hopefully, if I repeat the process often enough, there might yet be a finished game. Anyway, until next week, farewell.